I know music was a part of your life when you were younger, but what did you want to do? Mom and dad, they're not into showbiz.
Yeah, my mom was a retired surgical nurse, and my dad was a textile chemist. He was the vice president of Hanes Underwear. So I got my underwear free for 18 years. But I don't even remember my mom ever washing any underwear. My mom wanted her kids to be musicians. And so at 6 years old, I was placed at a piano for 2 hours every day and playing scales, playing hand and exercises and Rachmaninoff and Stravinsky and all that. I was born in 52, and in 1960, it was garage band time. Billy Joel was on Long Island playing in a band called the Hassles. Every other person was in a rock band with the Beatles and the Doors and, all of it. And I went to a school that really was a performing arts school where you had to either play an instrument or be in the choir or be in theater. And so they had all of us put a list down for choices of which instrument we wanted to play. And so I put down drums, and so they gave me a trumpet because there were no drums in the orchestra. There was percussion. So my whole life was music. And when it was time for me to go to college, my dad enrolled me in NC State University in a textile chemistry program because he thought I would starve to death if I was a musician. And I lasted for about 3 years. Played on the soccer and the lacrosse teams there, and I would just barely hung on, like a 1.9 GPA. And I was always in the practice room playing piano. And I knew I needed to switch my major after taking a radio and television course. And I went to my professors and said, I want to drop these courses and I want to change my major. And everybody said, fine, because I was bringing down their curve. And my statistics professor said, no, we're after the drop ad point here. You have to stick it out. And so I went back to my fraternity house, and two of my brothers just said, oh, that's ridiculous. Do what we do. You just sign your professor's name to the drop ad card. This is not a story that everybody knows because I don't enjoy telling it. And so I did, and it worked for a little while. And then 3 months later, Chancellor sent a letter to my dad saying that I had violated the honor code of NC State and I was being suspended. And then my dad kicked me out of the house. So I drove back to Raleigh because it's all I knew. And I worked construction and I was a waiter. And I got a job sweeping the floors at Rick D's station, WKIX. And that's really how I got started in radio and television, and eventually ended up at Boom, CBS News, and then at CBS Sports in 1982, where they hired me to do events like the Tour de France and Ironman and stuff like that. And they needed music. And that's really how that happened.
Were you like me, John? Did everybody tell you like, hey, communications, that's the easy major, but then you get up in front of 200 people in a speech class and you're like, wait, this is
Exactly.
I didn't expect this.